How many times per day should you feed your dog? And can that have an effect on your dog's health? That's what we'll look at in this video. Hi, I'm Ingunn, the Norwegian Viking behind Viking Dog Girl. I hold a certificate as pet food nutrition specialist, and I'm here every week to share tips and no BS truth about living the best life with dogs. And I might even share some tips on how it's possible to extend a dog's life by years. Now, when it comes to how often to feed our dogs, then think about this. Just like we need a certain number of hours on a daily basis to sleep so that we can relax and recharge, our dogs' bodies and ours need a certain amount of time in between meals. And this time is a kind of a time for our digestive system and our dog's digestive systems to relax and recharge. And just like the amount of hours we sleep can be very important, and if we don't get enough, it can really affect even our health and sanity. If our dogs don't get enough rest in between meals, meaning if their digestive system doesn't get enough rest in between meals, it can also affect their health. So the question is, of course, how many times a day is ideal? According to this huge book right here, normal adult dogs will maintain optimal health if fed only one meal a day. Now we'll look at why this is shortly, and note that this is for adult dogs. It does not apply to puppies, and we'll talk specifically about how many times per day a puppy should eat later in this video. Plus, feeding once per day may be a good idea no matter what the dog actually eats. Dry dog food, canned dog food, more natural dog food, homemade dog food. Now we'll look at a couple of studies that show some actual benefits of eating less often. Though first, I know some people might think that feeding once per day may sound a little bit cruel to our dogs. Well, one important note is that feeding less often does not mean that you necessarily need to feed less in general. The amount may still be exactly the same if you'd like. It's just larger meals less often. And eating just once per day may be the most natural thing for our dogs. Of course, our dogs haven't actually lived in the wild for quite some time now. However, their genes haven't really changed that much since they did live in the wild. And while living in the wild, what do they eat? Well, they need to actually hunt down other animals to eat. That's what their majority, great majority of their diet would consist of. And that's not necessarily something that they would do several times per day. It might be once per day. If they're lucky, maybe it happens several times per day. Or it could sometimes go days in between meals. And that's perfectly natural. It's a natural way of life for these type of animals. Actually, a few years ago, there were some scientists that did several studies on dogs where they tried to test how long a dog could actually fast, meaning not eat and still be fine, just only drinking water. And you know what? There was a dog named Oscar that actually fasted for 117 days. That's 117 days with no food, only water. And there were other dogs that were fasted for maybe 20, 30, even 40 days. Of course, that's not something anyone should try with their dogs. However, it just shows how adaptable and resilient these dogs are, not as fragile as some people might think. Plus, feeding less often may have some amazing health benefits. Whenever our dogs eat, there will be a glucose spike in their blood, and their bodies will secrete the hormone insulin. The more carbs there are in the diet, specifically starch and sugar, the more insulin or the more glucose and insulin will spike. And in most dog foods out there, there's a lot of starch, especially in dry dog food, though starch may be present in quite a big amount in a lot of different types of dog food. Now, one thing about insulin is that while insulin is present, the body in a way prefers to burn glucose as fuel instead of fat. So one way to look at it is that while insulin is present in the body, the insulin in a way keeps the fat hostage. So the body doesn't really burn fat as much as fuel. However, if you give enough time in between meals, the insulin will go down, and more the body will be able to burn fat as fuel. This may take a little bit of time though, so the longer in between meals, the better the body may be able to access fat from the fat cells to burn as fuel. This is one of the reasons why eating less often can be a good idea for people or dogs that want to lose weight. Now, there are not that many good studies on dogs and eating less often, though there are some on humans that are quite interesting. So I'll mention two right here now. One study was on pre-diabetic men who were divided into two groups, and one of the groups was allowed to only eat between 7 a.m. and 3 p.m. And the other group was allowed to eat between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So an a 12-hour eating window. Now, this study specifically wanted to look at any benefits that might come out of this without anyone losing weight. So, without losing weight, this was what they found. The 8-hour eating group had improved insulin sensitivity, B-cell responsiveness, blood pressure, oxidative stress, and they had less desire to eat in the evening. So even though this group of people didn't lose weight, which was the point of the study as well, that they wouldn't, however, they still had some very interesting benefits. They, for instance, had improved insulin sensitivity, which is very important for someone who's pre-diabetic and is important in general, because the opposite, meaning insulin resistance, is associated with a host of different diseases. And these people certainly weren't starving themselves because they didn't lose weight, and they even felt less desire to eat in the evening. Plus, there's another study that was done on men where they fasted the men for 20 hours every second day. And they also found that eating this way improved insulin sensitivity. So especially for dogs that might be overweight or obese, or dogs that may have any other metabolic health issues, eating less often may be a very good idea. Plus, it's not that rare for dogs to have digestive issues, for instance, diarrhea. If their stomach is upset, one of the best things that we may do for our dogs is to simply not feed them anything for a certain amount of time. Our dogs' bodies are incredible at taking care of themselves, fixing any issues that might arise. Though if we keep feeding our dogs, we're just kind of adding wood to the fire. So instead, it might be a better idea to simply not feed anything for a while. And of course, even if our dogs don't have any health issues, it might be best to feed them less often, maybe only once per day anyway, because it may be the most natural thing for our dogs. And the bonus is, of course, that we don't need to think about feeding our dogs several times a day. If once per day is the only time you actually need to think about feeding your dog, that may be a pretty good thing, no? Now, note that if you want the most benefits out of feeding less often, treats also count. So these benefits that you might get, that your dog might get from eating less often, might not really be there anymore if you keep feeding treats in between meals. So feeding treats less often as well might be a good idea. Now, even though feeding once per day may be the most natural thing for dogs, and like the NRC suggests that it might be the optimal for our dog's health as well, even so, there's one thing that I'd say is way more important if you want your dog to be as healthy as possible, which we'll look at very shortly. So stay tuned for that. Now, if you enjoy these kind of no BS, give it to you straight kind of videos on all things dog, then do remember to click that subscribe button to internal notifications for lots more tips. And remember to follow me on Instagram at Viking Ingunn. Now, I do want to mention that I do not believe that free feeding a dog is natural at all. It's not natural for a dog to have constant access to food throughout the day. Some dogs might be able to regulate this by themselves and end up only eating a few times per day anyway, while others might go and keep eating at several times, many times per day, and any benefits of having quite a bit of time in between meals may vanish. Now, how do you transition your dog to eating just once per day? Well, it's a good idea to do it a bit slowly, just step by step. So if you're currently feeding 3 times per day, maybe reduce to just 2 times for a while, maybe several days, maybe even a week, before you'd reduce to once per day. Remember, you don't need to necessarily feed less food even if you feed less often. So make sure you still feed your dog enough food. Though of course, do not overfeed your dog, because having an overweight dog, even if it's just a little bit overweight, can have a pretty big impact on their health and even how long they live. One study that I mention quite often is a study that showed that even moderately overweight dogs may die almost 2 years earlier than leaner dogs. So it's certainly important to keep dogs nice and lean. Now, have you noticed that if you get into the habit of always eating at a certain time per day, for instance, let's say you always eat lunch at noon, have you noticed that maybe at 12:30 you start to get hungry? This can happen to dogs as well. If they know that they will be fed very soon, they may start to get hungry and their bodies can in a way start to prepare for the food. This can be fine. Though for some dogs, this kind of expectation and anticipation for food can go a bit too far, and in some cases they actually throw up a little bit of yellow fluid. A lot of people call these hunger pukes, because the reason they actually throw up may be because they just anticipate food and they are hungry in a way. Now, some people suggest just feeding dogs more often in this case. However, another option is to simply not feed dogs at the exact same time every day. So instead of feeding your dog every day at 5 p.m. so that your dog really anticipates eating at that exact time, maybe you feed your dog between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. So one day maybe you feed at 5:30, the other at 4 p.m., the next day at 6 p.m. This way the dog doesn't even know when to anticipate food, and these hunger pukes may simply vanish. This of course also can be a great thing for yourself if your schedule doesn't always allow you to feed at the exact same time every single day. It gives you a bit of more freedom, and you don't need to feel bad if you're 30 minutes late from work one day, for instance. Now, when it comes to puppies, just like babies, they should eat more often. Now, there's no one right number here, though what's often suggested is that until your dog is 3 to 4 months, you may feed maybe 3 to 4 times per day. After that, until your dog is 6 to 8 months, you may feed maybe 2 to 3 times. When your dog is more than 8 months, you may want to feed 2 times per day until your dog is 1 year old. And this is when you can choose to maybe start feeding only once per day, or if you want, you can keep feeding your dog twice per day until your dog is 1.5 years old. Now, here's the thing. Even for adult dogs, feeding twice per day may be just fine. The thing is, these health benefits of feeding less often may be more apparent in dogs that actually have health issues already. Though for dogs that are perfectly healthy, it may be fine to feed both once per day but also twice per day. Because the thing is, what's most important isn't necessarily how many times per day you feed, it's what you feed. Now, I have a question for you. If you feed your dog food, have you looked at the ingredient list? And have you noticed that there may be a ton of different vitamins and minerals added. You know, all those ingredients that no one can really pronounce. Those are powdered nutrients. And it may sound like a good thing with added nutrients for your dog. However, the reason they are actually added may be because the food ingredients of the dog food may not contain enough nutrients for your dog. The ingredients themselves may be a bit nutrient poor, and the processing that the dog food goes through may destroy as much as 70 to even 100% of certain nutrients. So these supplements that they add might be required for your dog because otherwise your dog wouldn't even get the minimum amount of nutrients. And these are nutrients that your dog depends on to stay healthy. And it doesn't sound very natural to get these type of nutrients in the form of a maybe synthetic powder, right? Some supplements here and there may be just fine. We humans use supplements as well that way. However, it shouldn't really be the base of anyone's diet. We shouldn't really be depending on a lot of different supplements, right? That's not natural. Listen, this is one of those things in dog food that's not really talked about. And there are several types of these type of dangers in dog food that may even shorten our dogs' lives. I know. And I call these hidden dangers because no one really tells us about them. I've actually created a totally free online class to show you 3 suspiciously hidden dangers in dog food that may even cut our dog's lifespan in half. I think it's crucial for all dog owners to know the truth, and that's why I've made this online class totally free. I hope you will check it out because what we feed our dogs may even determine how long they live. Plus, there is a way to combat these dangers, so I'll also share 3 powerful yet simple whole foods to instantly boost your dog's meals and take back control. To sign up for this free online class, simply go to this link right here. I'll put the link in the description as well. So do this for your dog. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and give your beautiful dog a hug from me, and I'll see you next time.